to the stage. You guys know he is a genius on YouTube. He's a great salsa dancer, a wonderful husband to Nina, and a wonderful father to sorry about that interruption. Okay, sorry, let's go back to it. Okay, he's on the mission to solve the world's greatest problem. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Evan Carmichael.
Movement makers, how we doing? Happy Thursday. You know, just when I thought Zan couldn't get any more energy, he just brings more energy. Every week he just shows up with more energy. I'm dancing on a trampoline. He puts on the salsa song and he's like, I think he wants us to dance. Nina's out in the hallway working on her garden. She's working on, it's gardening time now. She's planting the seeds. Like, we got to get up and dance. We got to dance to the song. Anyway, awesome, Zan. Thank you for the love, as always. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thursday is my public-facing day, and it's amazing to see all these amazing humans, wonderful faces. We have a very special discussion today. This one took me longer to do than I think any of the other ones that I've done. And I'll tell you why, but we're going to dive in. Let me quickly share my screen with you guys so you can see what I see. The daily to-do and not to-do list. Now, I've done the to-do list a lot of times. The not to-do part of it, though, was the interesting thing that I had to really think about and took me a lot longer than expected. But this was a topic that my sister, who is in the house, Matri Carmichael, actually suggested. So shout out to you for picking a topic. For anybody new here, every 2 weeks, we do a poll in our Facebook group. What do you want me to talk about? And then whatever poll gets voted up the most, that's the one I do. So this is going to be a fun, slightly different topic than usual. And I'm excited. And especially the not to do was all caps. So she wanted to make sure I did not miss the not to do on the list. A couple quick member shout outs, because this is more than just, I should change this to family shout outs. What do you think? It's more than just members. It's family. You know what? I got it open right now. Look. Family shout outs. Family shouted just like that. New slide. Family shout outs. Welcome to the family. Lalita, Andrea, Peter, Bashkar, Alex, Zumba Store, Sue, Thornston Labs. Great to have you. And also, we have our 100 video challenge happening right now. So the idea here is, hey, don't tell yourself that you suck at making videos until you've done 100 of them. And we created this mega thread on our Facebook group that you can go, you can post, you get encouragement, you get support, share your posts, let us give you feedback and cheer you on. So Erasmo hit number 41. Tess is at 31. Tess already hit 100. So I think that's 131 now. Is that 131, Tess? That is. She's giving the thumbs up. 4. She's at 140 now. She's doing it. I love it. Esmeralda at 52, Susie Day 84. If you guys want to join in, just message Yelena and she'll give you the info on how to do it, totally free. And we want to cheer you on to making the content because you got a message in you and we got to get it out. Adele says, I'll get better at posting mine in the thread. Yes, Adele, come on. We want to see you in the thread. Brian says, I'm still at 0, need to make thumbnails. Don't let the thumbnails stress you out, Brian. Just post it and then post another one. And then you know what? You're not even allowed to make thumbnail until you get the video 10. First 10 videos, no thumbnail, just put it up. Let's get some momentum happening. New goal, 3 a week. LOL, I love it. Okay, quick note too, we're doing a special Clubhouse tomorrow. So my friend Mark and I, we do a podcast together that we've moved to Clubhouse. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a special session for Movement Makers members? So we did it last week and a bunch of guys were in the audience. And I committed on the air that next week, which is tomorrow, we're going to do a group Clubhouse. If you guys don't know what Clubhouse is, or you want to get your first exposure, or you've already been on and just want to jam with us, tomorrow it's happening. I start at 10 with Mark. You guys are going to come on stage at 11. We're going to jam. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. We're going to help each other out. It's going to be a blast. 36 of you already said that you're going. Look at the event inside the Facebook group. If you need help getting set up, let us know. And I am so excited to chat with you guys tomorrow. Okay, so what I always do in these presentations, we do 3 big ideas on the topic. We're going to do breakout sessions afterwards. You're going to meet some amazing humans here inside Movement Makers. And then the last section is going to be Q&A with me, whatever your most important questions are, whatever your learnings are that you want me to go deeper on. That's what we're going to do. Are you guys ready? Daily to-dos and not to-dos. Are we ready? Can I see some hands? Can we get some hands flying? There we go. I love it. Okay. So let me start with the easy stuff. Catherine says, go. The to-do list. So I'm going to walk you through what I do every day, every morning, and the different calendars that I have. And I'm going to take it deeper than I've ever taken it on any presentation or speech. And again, if you guys have questions as we go, leave it in the chat. Yellen will pick it up for me. We'll have a little bit of time during this time here, but especially at the end as well. My morning starts with no alarm. So the to-do is no alarm. And I'll usually go to bed at the same time. You go to bed around 11 and read and then fall asleep maybe 11:30. But I wake up with no alarm. And I haven't woken up to an alarm, I don't know, maybe in a decade. Now, if I'm speaking and I have to be on stage in the morning or traveling or something, then sure. But day to day, no alarm. I just basically let my body get the rest that it needs. So yesterday, I woke up at 8 something. This morning, I woke up at 5 something. I wake up when my body wakes up. Some nights I need more rest. Some nights I don't need as much rest. And so I get up, right? And so I delay the start of my day when nothing really has to happen until 10 o'clock so that I can get the sleep that I need in my life. Susie says, absolutely agree with that. It may not work for everybody, but I'm telling you what works for me. Next, the first thing I do after I wake up is intention for the day. I wake up, you know, I got lines on my face. I got stuff in my eyes. You know, what day is it? I don't even remember. What is my intention for the day? This is the first thing that I do. So I go to the bathroom, and in the bathroom, I'm looking at my calendar for what's happening today and setting the intention. Okay, today, what day is today? It's Thursday. It's public facing day. What's my intention? I have movement makers up first. Amazing. This is going to be great. What's my intention? I want to serve the people here in this group. I want to help. I want to try to get the things that are inside my head and put it into your head so you can then spread your message out and get it to other people's heads. And so what's the intention? And different days have different intentions for me. Even inside a day, you might have different intentions. The background on my cell phone, you probably can't see it, too small, but it says, remember your intention. Remember your intention. It's a constant reminder to me, is what is my intention for the day, for this moment, for right now? Because if you wake up, most people wake up like an accident with zero intention. And you got hopes and dreams and ambitions, and something inspires you, and you hope that makes a difference. And it might, but we forget our intention. So when you live an intentional day, it's totally different than when you're living an accidental day. Evan says, I've been doing that for almost 4 years, religiously. Game changer, mindset, and orientation. I love it. Next, 30 breaths and then 10 cold splashes on my face. So 30 breaths is Wim Hof style. So it'll be like that, 30 breaths, just to start getting some airflow going. And then I will take the coldest water. While I'm doing that, I have cold water on, running, and I'll just then splash it on my face just to wake up. Like, good morning. We set our intention. No time like the present to go kick us off. Let's go. So 30 breaths, 10 cold splashes every day. Then water. The goal is to drink one of these a day. I am about here since I woke up at 5. So I'm about halfway through. A gallon a day. You're dehydrated when you wake up. It's really hard to have energy when you don't have water inside you. So super quick water. Then I do an EDA scan. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. This was introduced to me by Deepak Chopra when I did an interview with him, I don't know, about a month ago or a couple of weeks ago on the channel, where it's part of the Fitbit watch. So Nina and I both have the Fitbit watch, and you basically cover it with your hand and it tracks your heartbeat. And the shortest EDA scan you can do is 2 minutes with them. And the goal is just to calm your mind, relax, just sit down and have intention and just let go of whatever anxiety you might have. And then it'll track your heartbeat over the course. So I can easily get my heartbeat down from, 80, 90 to 60 in 2 minutes. So every morning I just do a quick EDA scan to remind myself. Then I take the dogs out, get some sun. Get some sun on your face. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference. Having a dog forces that. But on days where I don't take the dogs out in the morning or I don't get sun, I don't have as much energy. There's just something to getting some, even here in Toronto, when it's freezing and cold in Canada, and it's starting to get a little bit nice now, but even in the winter, just getting outside, getting some fresh air, even just that idea of getting out of your home changes the energy state when you come back. For anybody who works at home, this can be really hard, is that there's no separation between waking up to then going to work. Things blur too much. So having some kind of routine to make that transition easier, you're basically leaving the home and coming back. And when you're coming back, you're getting ready to go work. Sun is vitamin D, says Frank. I also stretch. So this is going to be me every time I'm outside, because I'm standing on a trampoline all day long and I'm doing 20 to 40,000 jumps a day. My hamstrings get super tight. So anytime I'm outside with the dogs, I'm stretching out my hamstrings. So if you see me doing this, I'm okay, just getting my stretches in. Exercise. So then I'll go for a walk or a run, sometimes with Nina, or sometimes if she's not awake, then I'll go learn. So this morning was no Nina time. She woke up late. So I went by myself, went for a run. And if I'm with Nina, then we'll usually do a walk. There'll be, 45 minutes, and we talk with the dogs. If I'm not with Nina, I'm walking faster or running. Although Nina can walk really, really, really fast. For a little person, she walks faster than me. So that's epic. And I usually have the top 10 rules in my ear as I'm running or walking. Getting outside, getting some exercise, learning as well, right? What is the thing that gets you inspired, motivated, confident, ready for action, bold, courageous, and then doing that thing in the morning? So I make my videos still for me. I consume my videos still for me. And I want that in my life because so today was Tom Bilyeu. Today I was listening to Tom Bilyeu. And every time I listen to Tom Bilyeu, I get a little more bold, a little more courageous, a little more spark. And so not just hoping that it happens, designing it and engineering it into your day every day, demanding it. And then the latest finish is 10. So all that has to happen by 10. That can go super quick, or it can take more time. Again, depends on when I wake up. So if I wake up at 8 something, I go super fast through it, but it still gives me the time to get through it because I don't have to be done until 10. This morning, I woke up at 5 something, super easy to get through all this stuff. But I don't set a start time for anything because I don't know when I'm going to wake up. So there's not the pressure of I have to be outside by X time. I have to be done by 10. And there's no situation where I'm not waking up by 10. I can't sleep in that long. So this is pretty much every day. It's pretty much every day. Weekdays for sure, most weekends, every day. That's my morning routine, my to-do list. The daily routine, I'm not going to go like step by step through this. If you want to go deeper, we can on any of these if you have questions, but this is what a weekday typically looks like. Wake up, the morning routine that you just saw. 10 o'clock, I'm done, right? 10 o'clock, I have to be done. That's music and daily websites. Music, like why we have Zan here before you guys get on, because look at him, he's so excited. Music is the fastest way to change your state, right? And Alex comes on and starts singing I Can See Clearly Now. So then Zane starts playing the song. Tess says she loves Calypso. So Zane starts putting on that music for her. Zane knows I like salsa. So then he plays that. Like when you play music that you like, that would force you, like Nina was doing her gardening stuff. I was sitting here or standing here. Salsa comes on. We have to go dance, right? There are songs that when they come on, it forces you to get up and move. And when you do that and make it a part of your morning routine, it can change your entire outlook. On the days if I don't have the music, I'm just not as energetic, not as ready to go. So what I do is I have, it says daily websites, it's 25 to 30 websites that I load every day just to check in on things. The first website is my playlist. So I have a Believe playlist on my YouTube channel. It's open, it's free. You guys can look at it if you want. It doesn't really matter what's on my playlist. It's more what's on your playlist. What would you want to have there? And you could do that today. Design your playlist so that tomorrow when you wake up, you can just put it on. And it will force you to get out of your groggy state because these are songs that would have to make you get out of your chair. Think of the songs that if they came on, it would get you out of your chair. We all have those. Start your day with it. Makes a huge difference. 10:30 to 1:25 is a work chunk. And that depends on what I'm doing for the day. Thursday is public facing day. So this is why Movement Makers is at 10:30. It's no surprise. That's why we're here. It's my work chunk number one. So on different days, I have different tasks, but it's always these work chunks. 1:30 to 1:55, I'm checking email and I'm doing some social media stuff. 2 o'clock, IG Live or Insiders Group Live. So that's my break in between of my different work chunks. Then 2:30 to 2:55, and this is every weekday. This is Monday to Friday. I'll go out with Nina and we'll go. Right now, since it's getting warmer, we'll just go to the park, take the dogs, get some sun, reconnect. How was your morning? Because I'm pretty locked in for that morning, right? I'm doing whatever work I need to be doing. I maybe am connecting with Nina for working on something, but it's work. So we take that 25 minutes to go outside, get some sun again, be with the dogs, just something that's not work to be together. If it's super freezing cold, we might just go on the balcony, take in some fresh air, just something, some time to reconnect in the middle of the day. Come back, work chunk number 2. It's another 2.5 hours almost of whatever work chunk for the day. Then we sit down. This is actually a new addition. I don't think I've even talked about this on any video or anywhere else, where I want to try to incorporate more sit down dinner time with Nina. I haven't sat down to eat dinner, I think, since I was living with my parents. It's just not something that I did since leaving home, since, well, I don't know, 18, whatever, whenever I left. I just default to eating. I'll eat while I work. I've never spent time to sit down and actually eat. But I wanted to use that time again to reconnect with Nina, and we carve out. It's either 25 minutes, sometimes a little bit earlier, depends on how that work chunk number 2 goes. But between 5 and 5:30, sit down and try not to just sit there and work, and not bring our computers with us. Like actually sit at the table and put a placemat down and silverware, and actually pretend like you're having a real meal. Part of that may be because we haven't gone out to a restaurant in a year and a half, that maybe we're missing it, but also time to connect again and be together. And a lot of these moments, it doesn't have to take a long time, right? The 25 minutes with Nina in the afternoon and then sitting down for dinner, it doesn't have to take a ton of time, but I don't know, just find that that's important to connect throughout the day, not just at the end. Then I stream. So 6 o'clock, I stream. Zandaman is a co-host, as well as Drew. And I play League of Legends, which is a video game, while we take questions from the audience about business and life. So you can see what we do if you want tonight. EvanCarmichael.live, 6 o'clock. Zan's going to bring more energy. 8 o'clock, I usually play something with my son. We're into Minecraft right now, or he's into Minecraft right now. So I'm learning Minecraft right now. Nina and I will then watch a show. Right now, we're watching Arrow. No, we finished Arrow. We're watching Flash, and we're watching the new Captain America, Winter Soldier and Falcon, something like that. 10 o'clock, clean up, take the dogs out, do more stretching, take questions. So I do my 10 questions with Evan on Instagram. And then 11 o'clock, read and go to bed. I'm a super slow reader. My goal is 10 pages a day. If I can get that in the half an hour, then I pass out. That's my daily to do. There's tweaks and changes that end up happening here every now and then, right? Like, hey, I want to spend more time with Nina, so let's do a little break in the middle of the day and let's try to do a sit down dinner, right? So you have ambitions, you have intentions, it's great, but nothing happens until it's actually in your calendar. Matri says, woo, Megan loves Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's what it's called. Yeah, it's fun. Brian says, see, Evan's wealthy yet still cooks with his wife. I don't know that I cook. I definitely don't think Nina would say that I cook. That's a big stretch, but I do sit down and help set the table and clean up. I don't think either of us would want to be eating my cooking. Okay, so again, we can go deeper on any of those if you guys want as we get into it, but that's what happens every day. And then weekly routine. So I discovered the super strength of staying in energy zones. It's really a super strength when you constantly get distracted, and especially with other people saying, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? You don't get as much done. If you've ever felt like I worked all day and I got nothing done, what happened? You switch between too many energy states. So it's why today I'm here with you guys. It's always on a Thursday. And then Thursdays are always my public facing day. It's just extrovert hat on, spread the message, help people. That's all I have to worry about for the day. And I gain energy throughout the day. The reason why I start with you guys is I'm hopefully bringing some energy, but you guys give me energy that then I take and give out to all these other people throughout the rest of the day. I don't have to switch to then go write my book or to make a video or something else. I'm staying in the same energy zone. So Monday, I do mentoring, and I spend the whole day just mentoring the people on my team. And all I have to worry about is mentoring and how well are they doing, how well are they growing, what's going on. Alex is here, who's helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. We connect every Monday, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I don't know, sometime 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. He's saying 3 o'clock, whatever. It's sometime. No, I don't know when. Every Monday we're connecting though at the same time. I'm not thinking about it though. Like the fact that I don't know the time, it doesn't matter to me right now because it's in my calendar and it's not Monday. So I'm not stressing out thinking about it. Right. So I meet with Alex and I meet with Jeremy, I meet with Bo, and I meet with the people who have invested in the people on my team. And it doesn't mean that I won't connect with Alex or anybody else throughout the week, but it's not a deep dive. We're not hopping on the call. We're not doing a Zoom unless it's some super urgent thing, because save it up for Monday. Bring me your most important questions. What do you need help with that's going to move the needle the most for what you're doing? How can I be of service? And let's focus on that for the hour we have together. Right. And that's all I worry about Mondays. Tuesday's my YouTube day. So I'm filming content. And I have 3 small filming days where I film and then I do strategy and research and other things about the channel. And then I have one big once a month giant, like 60 videos, got to get them all out today, mega thread. But I'm not worried about Alex on YouTube day. Sorry, Alex. I'm not thinking about, I'm not thinking about anything else, right? It's just only about YouTube. And it allows me to be a lot more productive because I'm staying in the same energy zone. Now, hold on. You may not be able to completely control your entire day every day. And maybe you're not in that position yet, but even chunks, even if you can carve out 3 hours of time to work on something, keeping it focused, keeping that 3 hours tight, instead of just making one video, make 4. Instead of making one email, make 8, right? Like the time it takes to make one video for you to set up and get comfortable and turn on the camera and figure out your background and change your clothes and just get the energy going to make it happen, right? The time it takes to make that first video, let's say that's an hour. In the next hour, you could then make 4 more videos because you're already in the zone. You already have the hair. You've already had the lighting. You've already set everything up. It's easier to stay in that flow. The problem is we're breaking our flow too much. We're breaking the energy too much. So the more you can chunk your time, I find it massively helpful. And I try to chunk my entire days. Susie says, I try to do at least 2 videos or podcasts when I'm doing them. Yeah, it's great. Like the minimum I would do for videos is 7. My lightest day would be 7 videos. On top of then doing IG lives and streaming and everything else. But that's a light day because the time it takes to get ready for one video, I might as well just do 7. Saves a lot of time. Wednesday's project day. So Wednesday is open. I think if you value creativity, it's really hard to be creative when you're massively structured. And I think we need that mix. You need to have a mix of a lot of structure to help you stay focused. But if you're too structured, you can't allow for creativity to happen. So Wednesday is totally open. Wednesday, those work chunks is like, okay, what do I want to work on today? I'm going to work on movie makers. I'm going to work on my YouTube channel again. I'm going to work on hoodies. I'm going to work on whatever I want to work on. I default to wanting to work though, right? I mean, if Nina was out with her friends or something, I mean, it hasn't happened since COVID, but if she was out on a Friday night, 80% chance I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm going to go work on something. So I treat that as like my fun day on Wednesday to work on whatever project I want to work on for the day. Thursday is public facing day. We talked about that. And Tuesday and Thursdays are my most intense days. There's very little breathing on those days. It's back to back to back to back to back. My assistant for Thursdays will just book me up on all the different podcasts and shows and requests that people have. And if I have a 25-minute break anywhere, it's like, oh my gosh, I have a break. Wow, what am I going to do? I'll go on Clubhouse because I treat it as This is on time. This is work time, and I have to spread the message time. So I like having the Wednesday, the open creative day in the middle of the two crazy days. Two like hyper stack days. In the middle is the more open day. Friday's my CEO day. That's the day to kind of work on the business instead of just in the business. Most recently, I'm doing social media strategy in the morning, evaluating how well we're doing, how's our post doing, how's our content doing, what new things can we try and test. And afternoons, I'm focused on building, not even building, supporting my network. I made a list of probably up to 75 people now, 75 super important people that if I stayed in touch with, it means something to my business. So all the people that I've been in touch with, right? The Tony Robbins and the Brendan Burchard and the Ed Milet's and all these people. I suck at staying in touch with people. I just don't think about it. It's like, what do we focus on right now? And so I make a reminder. I have an Evernote in my calendar of all of the people that I want to stay in touch with. And I keep track of the last time I contacted them. And if I haven't been in touch for 3 months, I find a way to bring them value, to help them in some way, to stay in touch. And so that'll usually be Friday afternoons, or helping my friends. People say, hey, can you help me with this? Can you look at my channel? Can you give me some feedback on my book or whatever? That'll be Friday afternoons. Saturday's fun day. So this is fun with Nina. I mean, we have moments of fun during the week, right? We try to have our morning walk if Nina's awake, the afternoon outside, the sit down dinner, the watching the show together every day. But Saturday is more open, more fun. And we really try not to make this task day. It's easy to get buried in, okay, well, now we need to go to Home Depot, and now we need to go to Costco, and now we need to go, and you just overload it with work. We try not to have family work stuff happening on a Saturday and leave it more open for fun. And then Sunday is family admin day, which is when we clean up. And this is more of, I don't know if Nina's still here watching or not yet, but this is me cleaning up every Sunday while Nina's sitting chilling on the couch. That's not how it actually happens, but I thought you'd get a kick out of this slide. So Sundays are family admin day. It's like anything we need to do for the family. Is being topless a requirement? No, listen, it's up to you. Although Victor, you did post a video with your brother being topless. I saw it. It did happen. It was on IG. Fun is the name of the game, baby. Yeah. So anything that we have to do for the family to run the household, all that kind of stuff, try to save it for a Sunday so that it doesn't bleed. Like the most important part of all this stuff is it doesn't bleed. You don't bleed one thing into the next. You can stay hyper focused, and you're prioritizing the things that you say you actually want in your life. Just on a macro to do, so that's specifics of what I'm doing every day. And there'll be some tweaks. If I made this presentation in 6 months, there'll be a little change that happens. But the macro to do is really just two concepts: is do what you love and do it with people you love. So everything that you saw might be torture for you, but I love it. It's a reflection of what I love. And I get to do it. I put a picture here of Movement Makers because I love you guys, because we're doing this together. We're here together, right? I love you. I love the energy here always. I love the people on my team. So evaluate, like, are you doing the work that you love, and you doing it with the people that you love? So that's the macro on top of everything before diving into the specifics. Jennifer says, love you too, boo. I love it. Brian says, it's harder for me because I love gaming and it's my way of relaxing, but I know I can make up more work at night. Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but just not judging yourself, I think is super critical. Sometimes you need to hug, sometimes you need to push, but if you need that relaxation, then you do it. And not judging yourself against Elon Musk's work schedule. In all of this, I'm not trying to say it as prescriptive of here's what you need to do. I'm saying this is balance for me. This is balance in my life. Alex is very excited. This is balance in my life for me right now. You may not want to spend a lunch break with your wife or outside, or maybe you don't have a wife or a husband, right? It's fine. Don't copy this. Just use it as a template to follow. Okay, this comes the hard part, the not to do list. This is what my sister posted, all caps. Make sure you do this. So at dinner last night, I asked Nina, because I hadn't finished this part yet, what do you think's on my not to do list? Because I haven't really thought about it. Nobody's asked me that before. And she said, cook. She said cooking is on my not to do list. So I thought, you know what? With your sarcastic answer, Nina, I'm going to include that slide. So on my not to do list, according to Nina, is to cook. But in reality, I would say on my not to do list is to lose focus. That's why I have the intention in the morning. Like, what's my intention for the day? The background on my cell phone is remember your intention. I have an intention going in. If I ever fall off, it's constantly. How many times a day am I reminding myself, talking to myself, what's your intention again? What are you trying to do? And that sets me back so I don't lose focus. Have you ever found that you know, you open a web browser with an intention and you get distracted by Facebook or Instagram or something, and 20 minutes later, like, what was I doing again? Where was I? Like, as soon as you catch that, go back to the intention. What am I trying to do? The schedule really helps. At least someone like me, the schedule really helps so that I know exactly what I'm doing today. I don't have to think every day about what's coming up. And then I have a task folder for each day. And that really saves me stress, because what used to happen is if somebody on my team sent me something about a YouTube strategy, hey, Evan, we want to test this. Or hey, Evan, can you make this video? Or hey, Evan, how about this? I would feel like I'm being pulled in a million different directions. Oh, I got to answer him. I got to answer her. We got to do this. Now what I do is I just put it in my Tuesday folder. If you're talking to me about YouTube, I'm putting it in my Tuesday folder. And then I'm going to address it on Tuesday, right? If it's urgent, message me, but I'm trying to build a no crisis business. There's very few urgent things that ever actually come to me. And so on Tuesday, I'm going to get to it, while I'm also in YouTube mode. So I'm better equipped to actually answer it than if you talk to me on mentoring day where I haven't been thinking about the YouTube channel, right? The other thing it does is just give me peace of mind to know there is a time for this thing to be addressed. I don't have to do it right now. There's a time where that will be addressed. Right? Jennifer says, that's awesome because the team also knows that you will get to it. Yeah, the team too. And listen, it's partly training the team. People know that Monday is the time. Like Monday, we're spending our time to do it. Alex is pointing out himself. Yeah, there's been times where Alex messages me, and if I have my messenger open for the team, but it's got to be urgent. So he'll message me, and then I'll write back like, Alex, is this urgent? And he's like, oh, no. Okay, great. Email me, and I'll get back to tomorrow or on whatever day, right? So it's asking them to also respect my time. And I think also in that process, they learn to respect their own time more too. It's like, oh, maybe I should be doing that with people. Like maybe I should have more boundaries on what I do with my time as well. So I find that really helps. Second is not to lose presence on my not to do list, to lose presence. I am 85% present focused, 15% future focused, and 0% past focused. I spend zero time thinking about what I could have done or who I should have been or what mistakes I made and how much I suck and how life would be so different now if I zero time thinking about that. And very little time actually thinking about the future of where I could be and what is possible and what my dreams are, because I think both of those just keep you in your head and get you out of actually making stuff. Right? Like, I know I'm talking to Alex on Monday. I don't know what time. It doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm here with you guys. I don't even know what the next slide is going to be on this presentation. Because I'm here talking to you, and that's all that matters. And so if you ever find yourself drifting too much, it's coming back to present, because the present allows you to take action. A lot of future and past is fear-based and distracts you from actually creating the life that you want. There's a future fear of what might happen. We're afraid of what might happen and what mistakes will happen and try to protect against that downside. And then there's the past fear of the regret of, I wish I did something. I wish I changed. I wish I wasn't this way. I wish I didn't make that mistake back then. None of that serves you. Versus, where am I right now? And what can I do right now to actually make some progress happen? So, you are here. And this is what I'm constantly working towards. I think as entrepreneurs, we need a little bit of the future focus of we're trying to build something better. But too many entrepreneurs just stay stuck in that future focus of, this is all the great things I can do and write pages of dreams and all this stuff. But okay, amazing. You need that. And we got to do something. Where if you were to follow me around on a daily basis, I'm mostly just executing. As big dreams that I have, most of my time is spent actually just doing, creating, making, which is why the calendar and the task list really helps. I try not to stay stuck in negativity. If I had a not to do list, staying stuck in negativity, comparison, jealous, and fear, anger, I don't feel good enough, loneliness, frustration. I Anytime I catch it, try to shift away from negative emotions, either through logic, like, if it's comparison, oh, I'm not as good as this person, was logic. Okay, well, I'm good at something else that they're not good at, or I'm just earlier, I haven't learned enough yet. Logic. And just emotional state. Put on some music. Put on something that gets you feeling great, and suddenly you don't care about the comparison as much. So anytime I can catch it, you may not catch it in the moment fast enough, but if you've been brooding for 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, like anytime you can catch it so it doesn't last a week of depression, of you feeling lonely and not good enough, I don't want to stay stuck there. The only exception I put is grief, because I don't think you can hack your way out of grief. I think you just have to process it. Like if you lose somebody in your family, um, we lost our sister-in-law last year, 40 years old, 3 kids. It doesn't feel right, at least to me, to just put on a song and let's go and dance. It's like you got to just process it, and you just got to deal with it. And every day gets a little bit better. And if you're in grief right now, that's okay. That's where you can be a little more gentle on yourself. Like, you likely won't be able to show up like you could a day ago or a week ago or a month ago, right? But it will get better. It will pass. But any other negativity, no, I want to get out. And then this one is probably the most important and maybe the hardest to explain. But the lowering my standards versus judging myself. I don't want to lower my standards. I want every day to get better. I want every day me to be stronger, every day me to be, pushing harder, achieving more, getting closer to the person I want to be, increasing how I value myself, love myself, see myself, but also not judging myself. As hard as I am on myself, of like, this is where you need to be next, I'm my own worst critic, but I'm very gentle on myself, and that I never say that I suck. I never feel that I suck. And I think the difference is, you don't like what you did versus you don't like who you are. And since Alex is here, he had this story that he posted where he didn't hit one of his goals. He didn't hit one of the things he said he was going to do. And then he posted saying that I hate myself that I didn't go and do this one thing. I didn't call enough people. I don't know what the goal is. It doesn't matter. I didn't do it. I hate myself for it. And I wrote back, I was like, no, you don't hate yourself. Never say that. Is that you hate that you didn't do the thing. There's a big difference. That little subtlety, that little distinction is the entire game. You hate that you didn't do the thing. You hate that you didn't make the video like you said you would. You hate that you broke your promise to yourself, but you don't hate yourself. If anything, it's the opposite. You love yourself because you care so much that you didn't do the thing, because we're trying to raise our standards. So catching your thought pattern, catching your language, and being in that constant state of push versus hug. Sometimes you need to push. Most of the times I'm living in push. I want to be better. I want to push harder. I want to raise my standards more. And sometimes you need a hug. Sometimes you can't do as much, and that's okay. And now I wanted to add some exceptions. This is not what Maitri asked for in the original, but we did my to-dos, we did my not to-dos, and there's always 3 big ideas, guys. So this one's going to be about exceptions. Where do you not follow what's on the to-do and not to-do, and when is it okay? Okay, so I have a couple. One is flow. When I'm in flow, I try to stay in flow as long as possible, because you create amazing things in flow. I have Kanye here. I've got Kanye behind me on my wall here. He was the first top 10 I did. You guys have probably heard the story a bunch of times, but that was a reaction to a post that Mark Drager created. And I thought people should learn from Kanye. Even if he says a bunch of stuff you don't believe in or disagree with, you can still learn from his success. And I love learning from people who have had success, but I might disagree with some of the things that they say, to try to find like, what's the one kernel. You just need one lesson from Kanye to make you better. You don't need to agree with everything that he says. So that was the first top 10 that I made. And I threw away my whole day just to make this one video for Mark. So I don't know what day it was. It didn't matter. I canceled the whole day. And I'm working on this video just for Mark. And that became the thing that ended up building my brand. A lot of the top 10 rules of success off of that one-off thing for Mark. I did with the Shania Twain Dance Challenge. I was upset that people didn't know this song that Shania Twain sang. So I made my whole day about Shania. Everybody needs to know this song. Everybody needs to dance. I was messaging people, dance to this song. Dance to Alex was at the hospital for some reason. And he's like, I can't. I'm at the hospital. I don't know anybody here. It's like, Alex, you're a dancer. You have to find somebody. And he found some nurse or something outside. He's like, hey, do you want to dance with me for Instagram? And a bunch of people said no. And finally, one person said yes. And I just compiled all of these people's dance to Shania Twain and I put it into a mashup. That was flow. Now that didn't turn into anything. And people ask, when's the next dance challenge? There's no other dance challenge. That's it. I'm done. I don't want to do another dance challenge. I've done Chinese rap. Like I've done all sorts of weird stuff just because it felt right in the moment. And when I feel the flow, I go and do it. And sometimes it works out and it's the greatest thing of all time. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But again, I'm not judging myself for the success or failure of the idea. I'm valuing myself for doing something about it and getting started. Now I'm not in flow every single morning coming up with all sorts of crazy new ideas. It's when I catch it and it just doesn't feel right to leave it until Tuesday, YouTube day, then I'm going to go all in on and do it. Family. And this is one that I've been working on a lot more. Both Nina and I hate being interrupted. It's one of our pet peeves, which usually works out pretty well because we don't interrupt each other, but sometimes we do. And we're not that we yell at each other, but we're not as, we don't show up as our best selves. You know, like might be really short. It's like, I'm trying to work on this thing. So I've been working on, if Nina comes in and says hi or wants to ask me a question, even though I'm doing something else if it was Alex, forget about it. Alex, don't bug me. I'm working on something. But if it's Nina, then it's the exception to the rule. You know, if it's Nina, then that's the exception. So it's trying to train and practice it. So one thing in the morning, I usually wake up before she does. So whenever I see her in the morning, it's trying to stop. I might be in the middle of working on something. Try to stop that to give her a hug and ask her how she's doing before moving back to the thing, right? So family's the exception. We had our niece and nephew over recently because they had their spring break, and my nephew's working on his YouTube channel. So on Tuesday was my YouTube day. I got a lot of work to do. He's sitting right here behind me working on his channel, and he kept asking me, "Hey, Uncle Evan, how do I do this on my thumbnail?" And, "Hey, Uncle Evan, how do I do this?" And in my head, every time it's like, "You're gonna work on the videos." It's like, okay, let me see what you're doing, right? And I want to still get better at that so that it's not the initial. I don't want to show up. I wasn't showing up and being, negative or nasty to him, but I was frustrated at the start. I had to calm myself down before going to talk to him. I want to try to get continually better at that. So I'm still working on this, right? But flow, family, and then the last one is fragile. So there are some times where you're too fragile. You're just too fragile to get up and do the thing. When I broke my neck, I couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. Nina had to help me put clothes on myself, everything. So sometimes you're too fragile to show up like you normally would. I think a lot of us experience that fragility here with COVID, right? I mean, at the start, how many of us fell off our routine, fell off our to-dos, fell off our not to-dos, gained some weight, fell behind on some of the things we said we were going to do, right? I mean, we were a lot more fragile than maybe we even thought. And a lot of us judged ourselves probably too harshly for that. But as you gain your strength back, now you can start to actually get going and do the thing. So when I broke my neck, I still made videos every day, but they weren't as long and they weren't as coherent and they weren't as good. And I was more gentle myself because I needed it. So the key thing here is, am I proud of myself for not following through? So this was me. Like I stayed on my tour after I broke my neck, and instead of walking around, the events, I sat, and we had to sit with 2 pillows and my neck brace on and ice packs on and right up against the wall. And I just sat in that spot for 4 hours doing my thing and answering questions, my presentation and answering questions, because I was too fragile to get up and do the whole thing normally. But I'm proud of what I did. So if you're proud of the reason why you're not following through, That's actually the only thing that matters, because this is just a self-esteem, self-love, self-care game. So are you proud of the reason why? So if you're in flow, I'm for me, if I'm in flow, I'm proud of why I didn't follow through. If my family interrupts me, I mean, there's been, I remember Thursdays when this whole thing was happening with my sister-in-law, we'd have to leave. Like, we have to go right now. Okay. And I had to cancel on 4 people in the afternoon that I had podcasts with. Like, I hate disappointing people. It's my worst thing ever. But okay. I mean, I'm proud of the reason why. And if they can't handle it, then much love, best of luck. We could try to reschedule again. Hopefully we can make that happen. But I'm proud of the reason why. And if I'm too fragile, I'm proud that I'm going to take care of myself today. And that's okay. All right. And so I think it's great to have your to-do list. I love the idea, your to-do list, your not to-do list, but then also, like, where are you going to be okay with you not following through, and how are you going to get back up when you don't do the things that you say you're going to do. That makes sense. So those are the 3 big ideas: a to-do list, a not to-do list. For any new members here, we also put the slides and the presentation in the Facebook group. So you'll get that. You can look at it after on replay as well. The 3F framework, I love it. Zan, I got to be honest. Okay, so Zan loves his frameworks. And I came up with flow. And then I wrote family. And then the third one was not fragile. The third one was something else. And then I thought, you know what? Zan's going to love it if I make it 3Fs. So that was just a little insight. Zan's got like 100 different frameworks. He loves it. So we made the 3Fs just for Zan. So I hope you like it, man. Okay. So that's the daily to-dos and not to-dos. Let me stop sharing screen and see all these wonderful, amazing people. Hello, movement makers. What we're going to do now, we're going to put you into some breakout rooms. You're going to meet some amazing people. If you are an introvert and terrified of breakout rooms like I am, don't stress out. These are some of the nicest humans you're ever going to meet on the planet. You came to this group for a reason, and I want you to connect with other people who are also on a similar mission so that you know you're not alone. So it's really, really important. If you're stressed out, if you're nervous, that's great. This is your chance to show yourself what you're made of. You're going to meet some amazing, wonderful human beings, I promise. If not, let me know, because that person does not belong in movement makers. But we've never had any complaints. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do some Q&A. So whatever your most important questions are for me, let me know, and we'll address that at the end. In this group, I'd love to know, with you to share with your members, you're going to have 5, 6 people. What was your biggest takeaway from this session here? And what are you going to take action on this week? So your biggest takeaway, like, what was the one thing that stood out to you that you underlined or tried to highlight or took a screenshot of? And what are you going to change this week? What's your action item for this week? Does that make sense? You guys ready to meet some amazing humans? Yes, yes. All right, let's get the groups going in 3, 2, 1. Rooms are open, and we'll see you in 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. People are coming back. Hey, Yuko. Hey, Raymond, Belinda, Jennifer. Woo. Evan. And welcome back. Rooms are closing. Look at all these people. Here they come. We're about to get. Whoa, look at all these amazing people. We're back. Hey. How was that? Was that fun? Did you meet some awesome people? You have some good conversations? I love it. Great. I know it's for some people it's awkward and nerve wracking, but I promise you this is a group filled with amazing heart centric people, and you'll get a lot, obviously by being here and learning, but also the connect. I really want you guys to connect with each other so you don't feel alone. There's other people on this journey as well that you can connect with, and I love seeing all the collaborations and everything you guys are doing. So trying to make more of that happen. So thank you everybody for participating. We're going to do questions. So whatever the most important questions are on your mind. But first, just quickly, people are asking about the Clubhouse thing. So Clubhouse tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, you have to have an iPhone or an iPad. What we're going to do is when we go live, I'm going to go live at 10. So if you want to just listen in on the room, just to kind of get a sense of the vibe, you come early, it's great. We're going to go live with you guys at 11. And there'll be people in the audience and we may not be able to find everybody. So what I want you to do is on the event here, if you go back to the Facebook group and go to the event, just say, I'm in the room. And Yelena is going to be looking at everybody who says, I'm here, I'm here, I'm in the room, whatever, I'm here, bring me up. She's going to be on that in this event page for that entire hour. And she'll let me know, hey, Raymond's there, bring him up. And I'll go, look, Raymond. Okay, Raymond's there. Yuko's here. Okay, Yuko. Right. So just post on this event page that you are in the room when you show up there. And then I'll go look to find you and bring you up on stage. We're going to have some fun. We're going to introduce you to a new platform. If you're already on there, it'll be a blast. And we'll talk about entrepreneurship. You guys will have a lot of fun. So Anyway, that's the quick Clubhouse announcement. But Q&A time. How can I help? How can I serve? Pop it down in the chat. Yell and I will pull your questions, and we've got some time to make some good stuff happen. So let's see what we got. Brian says, how do you fit gaming in? Do you count that as part of family time too? No, sometimes. So I do a gaming live stream 4 times a week at night with Zan and Drew, and I have a goal. I want to get to gold in League of Legends, so it's a goal of mine. And I said, well, instead of just doing this by myself, how about I answer questions? So Zan, if you join tonight, Zan knows nothing about League of Legends, doesn't play the game, doesn't really care about the game. So he's paying attention to the chat, and he pulls questions from the people who are watching live, and then we both answer them while I play the game. So I love the idea of mixing worlds together. Instead of doing this or this, how can you do both? Because I'm not great at League of Legends and I don't want to put in the work to get great at it. I don't want to be the guy spending 12 hours a day grinding out, which is a thing. But if I get the 3 hours, my brain is fried. I could talk to you guys all day long, but 3 hours of video games, I'm tapping out. But in the mix, you don't watch me because I'm the greatest gamer. It's that mix of the gaming plus being able to help entrepreneurs. And I think the more you can lean in on combining your passions together, that's where you actually start to really win versus just thinking, oh, I have to do this or I have to do this. Like, how can you be the first person to smush them together? Um, okay, what else? Adele says, what do you recommend about posting when you're going through what feels like a fragile phase, dark night of the soul? I like it. So for me, the difference is if it's about me, go wherever you want. I actually prefer to show the downside, the weaknesses, the behind the curtains. I love the interviews I get where it's like, tell me where you struggled and suffered, and not just the shiny, polished, like how fancy everything looks now, but the story. So I love showing that wherever I can if I remember, or somebody pushes me, or I'm on an interview. You know, I had when I broke my neck, I told my agent, and his first response was that you need to film it. And so the next day, Nina filmed us getting ready, and it's me, super self-conscious, gained some weight because I'm in bed all day, and she filmed my morning routine with Nina helping me get dressed. Nina like holding me as I try to go to the bathroom. Like we filmed that was an IG live. So I woke up and said, okay, my agent Steve wants me to film my morning routine. This is what it looks like right now, guys. And I look terrible. I just woke up. I got my neck brace on. I set up the phone on the desk so you can see us getting ready. And yeah, it was super embarrassing. But if it's me, I'm super fine showing it. I don't care. If it's my family or people super close to me, then that's where I would draw the line. So if I'm telling stories about Alex, for example, I know he's okay with me sharing those stories. Yeah, now he comes back. You weren't there, Alex. I saw your camera. It was nobody down there. But I know he's okay with me sharing those stories. Somebody else, I wouldn't share as much. I worry more about other people and what I share publicly about them. I would much rather, like, Zan and I were talking about this last night on the stream, where uh, if I'm going to criticize Zan, I might criticize Zan, but it's only going to be to his face. Like, I'm not going to talk behind the back. It's only positive to his face. Zan, we got to get better at this. Come on, man. What are you doing? Right. So if you're going to be critical, I want it to be to their face, not telling stories about them. So I like the behind the scenes. If you're feeling fragile, I think that actually makes your movement even bigger, makes you more relatable. If you're always coming off as perfect, it's like, well, easy for you, Adele. You're always perfect and fancy, and you got it all figured out. Meanwhile, it's like, you don't know. I mean, I'm struggling too. So showing that, I think is really helpful. Just be conscious of who else you're bringing into it, and if they're comfortable having their stories told or being on camera. Um, I'll often change the gender and names of people because it doesn't matter. Um, but I think it's good. Anytime you're feeling any kind of emotion, it's good to film. You're feeling frustrated, film. Tell me why you're frustrated. You're feeling anxiety, film. It actually will make you feel better. If you're feeling super frustrated and stressed out and anxiety filled, and you film, you'll actually feel better afterwards. Why? Because you're doing service. And anytime you can connect to serving, it reduces you can't feel like you're helping somebody and in service and feel anxiety at the same time. You can't feel gratitude and feel overwhelmed at the same time. So the path through is service, to help other people feel like they're not the only ones struggling with this thing that you're struggling with. So I would it's a good practice. If you ever feel like that during the week, if you feel like you're going to make a video but you're not going to because your hair is messed up, great. I mean, be grateful you have hair. And then make the video and say, I wasn't going to do this, but because my hair was messed up, and said, I don't want to not make a video because my hair is messed up. And look, here it is. And then mess it up even more. I think that could be a great, great, great video. And just you giving yourself permission to be you gives other people watching permission to be themselves as well. Brian says, so you're saying we should post that personal stuff on IG? I think letting people into your window, into your world, is important. I think you should definitely care about what, especially when it relates to other people. Like, you don't see my parents on any of my stuff. They're on the wall behind me, right? They're very important in my life, but you don't see them in my content. When I was first getting started, I asked them, and they're like, "Oh, we don't want to be on camera." And they've been huge motivators and a huge influence in my life, but you don't see them anywhere because they just don't like that. It's not that they would be angry at me or yell at me or not talk to me or something, or say, take that video down. It's just respecting them. So I would love for all of you guys to inject a little more of you into your content. The thing that you're afraid to share about yourself is the thing that will be the biggest connection point to people for you. And releasing it is actually a huge weight off. It's a huge weight off. And the way to get the courage to do it is through service. Again, by you not staying silent, you are giving that gift to other people so that they don't feel as alone. Because whatever you feel that you're struggling with, that you're so embarrassed by, there's millions of people who feel the same thing. And by you stepping up and saying, I'm going to do it, it gives them permission to step up and do their thing as well. And that's the greatest feeling in the world. Like, the greatest comments that you'll get on your posts, on your videos, from your customers are not going to be, oh yeah, she helped me solve that problem. It's like, no, she made me more confident. She made me a better human. She gave me the inspiration to change my life. Those are the best comments. But that only happens if you lead. You can't tell other people to be vulnerable and then you're perfect all the time with everything. It doesn't mean you then go and post everything you're eating for lunch and your cat, and like, you have to think about service. Think about, how does this help somebody who's watching, right? So try to have a story. It could, like, why did you get that cat? What does that cat mean to you? Right? Why do you love peanut butter? What does it mean to you? If you tell me stories around it, then that could be of service. Otherwise, there is a thing of oversharing for sure. Abel says, Evan, I have two channels and had them before I joined Movement Makers. They don't require me to show my face because one is meditation, one is motivation with clips. How can I grow those channels? I have excellent content, but can't seem to get the views and subscribers. You don't always have to show your face. What you have to do is start thinking about, what do you actually need? Like, even today, I'm how many years in? 2009 was the first video, right? However many years later, 10,000 videos later, I'm still making videos for younger me. On my run this morning, I'm still listening to my own top 10 videos. That's what you need to do in your content. So meditation is important to you. If you don't want to go and share your story about meditation, great. But imagine you were back into who you used to be, where meditation actually saved your life. Make videos for that person, right? So meditation was a huge game changer for me when I broke my neck and I had a concussion, more the concussion part. After that, it hasn't been a huge role. But while I had the concussion, I saw a question about binaural beats from Frank earlier. I was doing binaural beats. I was doing like anything to just clear my head. That helped a lot. Now, not as valuable for me. But if you're talking about motivation, you're talking about meditation, we tend to try to play to the algorithm, which is great. And you think about, well, what do people want? Which is great. But you have to marry it too with what you want to make. If you're just chasing what other people want and you don't actually feel the connection to it anymore, you're going to lose. So if you're going to make motivational videos, great. Make the video that you would watch. I still watch my own videos. On my birthday, actually, we've never talked about this yet. On my birthday this year, we're going to launch a. Normally, I do my movement, not my movement makers, my Thought Leadership Academy in Toronto, and we celebrate my birthday with 15 people who come from around the world, and we train them for 3 days. Um, this year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a 30-day series on my channel around the billionaire mindset. So every day for 30 days, there's going to be a different lesson that billionaires have in common that you can learn from if you want more success. And as I talk about it, it's like, ooh, I want that. I would sign up for that. So I'm basically making the videos that I would want. And then, thankfully there's enough people out there who also want that same thing too. So you're making for yourself now and for yourself from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. And as long as you keep that in mind, you will grow. So you're probably looking at the algorithm and what the audience wants. I would tap back into, what do you want? Like, what do you need? What would you have on repeat? What meditation do you need to create that you would do for yourself right now that you badly need tonight? Make that video and it'll start to do better. Peter says, in order to free up your time, do you send your YouTube videos off to an editing team? What team would you suggest to create to keep you in flow to do what you do best? So we've got 30 something people on the team. We've got multiple editors. We can't make all the content that we do. Definitely me by myself. I think it depends on where you're at. If you're at the beginning, I would just post. To the question before about thumbnails, like go. Don't let the thumbnail be the reason why you're not posting. Post your first 10 videos with no thumbnail. Post. And then worry about your thumbnails after. You can always go back and fix the thumbnail after too, by the way, right? Just get it up. Because your message, what's your message to the world? Be perfect. Don't do anything unless you're perfect. Like, that's not your message. So don't live that message. You're living that message. I'm not going to do it until it's perfect. But you're speaking something else. You're speaking just start. You're speaking believe in yourself. You're speaking build momentum, but you're not doing it. Right. So it depends on where you're at. At the beginning, I would not over index on editing or thumbnails or anything. I'd just speak your message. Practice speaking your message and put it out to the world. As you grow and scale, then sure, you hire people. I went from a video a week to a video a day when I got my editor. But I did it, I wouldn't do it the same way. I would do a video a day by myself and just not edit. I did all the same mistakes, that I'm telling you not to do. I edited myself. I spent 10 minutes recording the video and then 5 hours editing it. It's not a good use of time. I'm trying to shortcut the path for you guys, right? Put up the video, release, make your 100 video challenge, get content up there. And then as you get better at the thing and start building a business around it, then you can hire a part-time editor to help you, and then a full-time editor, and then a second editor, and third editor, and however many videos you want to go off and make. Cynthia likes that. She's cheering. So are you saying the same for dating advice and the things we teach? Talk as if it's what we want to hear too. Yeah. So you talk to yourself now, and you talk to yourself from when you were in your most painful moment. So even as I showed you my calendar today, some of those things I got locked in and loaded, and some of them I'm still working on, right? As I'm sharing, hey, with Nina, we're working on this sit down dinner thing. When my nephew's over and he's asking me for help, I still hear like interruption, and I'm trying to focus on my YouTube video. It's like, okay, breathe. I want to shortcut that and get there faster next time. Even with the intention, like even if I just showed up on that day and realized, okay, I have my nephew over, I'm probably going, how do I want this day to play out? I didn't think about it. I just went, okay, YouTube day, let's go. If I thought, okay, he's here, maybe I should carve out some time for him, right? Then I wouldn't be as distracted or upset or frustrated. So even as I share with you my calendar, it makes me want to do better. When I share my not to do lists, it makes me want to do those better, because I'm not perfect on any of those things either. Right. So you're making content for yourself. The billionaire mindset series that we have coming up, I want for me. If everybody said that's stupid, I'm not going to watch it. Great. I'll still make it for me because I want it. And thankfully enough people, well, we'll see, hopefully want it, that it does well. But I'm still making it for me, and it's still making it for 19-year-old Evan who was starting his first business. Like, I wish I had all of this stuff when I was 19, struggling in my first company. That's still who I'm making all this content for. Um, so same for you. Maya, wouldn't your credibility go down if you post low quality videos? No, because the quality, it's just switching quality from production quality to quality of thought. Your job as a thought leader is to train people to think like you think. I still will film videos from my phone. I filmed a video last month going through a car wash. I think I talked about it on one of the sessions here. It's the best. It's actually different. It's unique. It's fun. Like, real videos do super well. If you gave me a choice between you being you, honest, tell me your vulnerable story, tell me what you're struggling with right now, tell me how you're fragile right now and what you're trying to do to get out of it, and you're walking down some street off your iPhone versus you in a fancy production studio with a perfect memorized script, the one of you telling your story is going to outperform. Now, if you were an editor, if that was your business, then yes, it has to look better because that's your business. But if you're a thought leader, your job is to move people, and the emotional quality of the video and the quality of the thought is the thing that will carry the day more than the production quality. It doesn't mean you totally disrespect the production quality, that you don't at some point hire an editor or get, I don't know what microphone this is, but it's better than me if we were on a Zoom call and here. But listen, if I was stranded somewhere, I don't know where I am. I'm stranded in the forest or something. I have an internet connection and it's Thursday at 10:30. I'm doing this from my phone in the middle of the woods. And you know what? It'd be a great session. It'd be the most fun session ever. I might just go get stranded just because. Right? Now, assuming the internet quality is there, right? But the energy of you being you is the thing that carries the day, and we get caught up too much in the editing and thumbnails, and we call that quality. That's not quality. Quality of thought, quality of emotion, quality of the intention is going to carry the day a lot more. Elizabeth says, how important is your IG name? I created my IG page using my nickname. Should I change it to my first last name? Not a huge deal. I probably would, but it's not the end of the world either way. It's like, how do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to show up in the world? Do you want to show up as this person, or do you want to show up as this person? And you can always change it. Sean Combs became P. Diddy, became Puff Daddy, or back to P. Diddy and back to Sean Combs, like whatever. Who cares? He's all of them. So how do you want to show up? That's less important than the content that you're sharing. Like, don't let these things get in the way of you actually releasing content. Don't let these things get in the way. This is the stuff that our perfectionist nature gets in the way. And it's really just fear of being judged, or of being seen and of not being seen at the same time. It's weird how that works. Don't let that prevent you from actually just getting out and creating. Again, we don't totally disrespect it. You can always work on making it better. You work on your thumbnails. You can strategize around the name, but it's not anywhere near the most important thing to figure out. Sheila, then why bother and pay an editor? Because they can speed up the process for you. And there's levels to this, right? Like it's a classic 80-20 rule. 80% of it is you showing up. But it doesn't mean I disrespect the last 20. It's just not the most important thing. So why have an editor? Is because all I have to do is, I filmed videos on Tuesday. While Nina was going shopping at Costco, I'm in the car on my phone recording all the videos. It syncs to Dropbox, gets uploaded to my editor. Boom, I'm done. I don't look at it again. My team's going to take care of the thumbnail, going to take care of the editing, going to take care of the title, take care of the description, take care of the end cards, take care of all that stuff. I'm not looking at that video again. And it goes live. That saves me a ton of time. That allows me to do a lot more content. Your team allows you to go further and focus even more on your Michael Jordan level ability, right? Everybody's got that Michael Jordan level ability. You're the best at something. And the more time you spend on it, the more impact you're going to have. But if you're doing everything yourself, you want to then think, okay, inside of what I'm doing, how do I spend the most amount of time on it? So I might be spending half my time on it if I'm doing it all myself, but now I can spend 90% of my time if I have a team. So it's not that it's not important. It's just nowhere near as important there's a sequence to these things. Like if you think that you can't get started until you have an editor and a thumbnail design and a graphic artist and all this stuff, it'll just never happen. I see Carol here in the chat, and I love Carol. Carol helps us run the French channel, where he's taking some of the content, and he didn't know how to do any of the stuff. And he just figured it out. He's like a good video, and he's dubbing it, he's editing it, he's helping with do the thumbnails, he's helping with the titles, he's telling us where to, he's doing it. And that's how you build momentum. Where most people just get stuck in slow motion mode thinking, well, if I had the team, then I can go further. Yes, but your mindset now is not letting you get to the point where you have a team so you can go further. Focus in on what you're great at. That'll get you to the point where you can hire a team and go further. We are over time. Oh my God, it's crazy. 11:57. I got to run to my next thing. Thank you guys for the love, the energy. You guys are always amazing. I love Movement Makers. What a way to start the day. We're back on again in 2 weeks. We're on tomorrow again, Clubhouse. If anyone wants to join, if you want to check it out, it's going to be a blast. Anytime you're trying to get on a new platform, it's always nice to have somebody to kind of help you get started. So we're all going to be there. Cynthia's holding up Built to Serve. I love you. So if you want to join in, awesome. If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks. If anything, what I'd love to see is momentum from this session, that you learned something here, you got some energy from this, from me or your other awesome movement makers, that you carry forward and do something to make yourself proud. I want you to post in our Facebook group. Tell me what that is. Tell me how you implement it into your life, your to-do list, your not to-do list, the exceptions, the clarity that you got, because it really, 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 really makes a difference. Thank you, guys. I love you. I'll see you soon. Continue to believe and have a great rest of the week. Goodbye, everybody. Take care.